welcome back to Media Watch. Media Watch hemi one fala initiative blo Media Association of Solomon Islands MASI, and MASI hemi one fala membership-based charitable organization where hemi established for supporting waka blokata media organizations as well as sokata wakaman and mere where kata inside lo this fala media industry mainly lo newsrooms, and hemi also for make sure that professionalism blo waka blokata journalists as well as media organizations hemi staff, and I'm a little bit challenging but masi hemi doing best for waka blame for make sure that what hemi established for a mission blame and objectives and goals blame hemi achieved. And the panel today, imigarem senior journalists Dorothy Wickham and Ofani Eremae Editor for this first media watch for this year 2022, and we are happy to have them here with us. Lo panel discussions play me for this media watch. Thank you so much, Dorothy and Ofani, for coming to Media Watch Lord this week. You may have a little bit time, you may break a little bit plan. There's something that may been happen start from last year, lo riot go, cause in this time you may look in geopolitics, and we also main stories inside lokata media outlets play you may. Baba you may go lo that one a little bit, but before that, just to welcome you both lo program play me for this week. I'll start with you, Ofani. Ofani, how is it like for you and your newsroom, especially for Island Sun, this for the past few weeks and months?
Yeah, man, Gina, thank you. Hemi, first of all, I think it has been an interesting time. Lo wakablo imilo media, and because there's so much information out there, so much information out there. I have never seen this sort of thing. Lo working life lo me, the kind of information, kind of debate, kind of discussion where this fella security deal, where government him sign with him China, him generate him, So before lo Island Sun at the moment, before a little bit, short law resources, wakaman, but we're doing all we can, for try for relay information, get to the bottom of all that's been happening around us, within what we can do, and with the limited resources that Mifala Garem at this time. So, basically we are doing what we can do. Yeah.
And for you, Dorothy, what have you been up to and how are you looking things at this point in time?
Oh, I go now. It's like a fun time. I'm interesting times here because for first time me looking people actually barwa some riled up or cross some support, some against it and become difficult with them social media for traditional media in wakala mainstream media for try to keep him that full of balance between what now hemi accusation and what now fact, and at the same time try to make sure that voice blow government can come through, voice blow opposition can come through at the same time. Try to gauge him too what now thinking or measure thinking blow the ordinary somnalism or say Ofani Talem what sorry something na is that him barakam no wrong time na time where media have no weakest point blame na this time because of the economics of COVID, stuck out newsroom, cutting down numbers, blow at exclusive stuck out senior journalists, blow to go lot of PR jobs. So, whilst maybe being criticized by PM, several things where he may do in the media, maybe he should acknowledge it, maybe somewhere along the line he may make some mistakes. Sure, I mean, that one, even in a very well-established society, media sometimes does do make mistakes, but it have no meaning that the government in power should use that as an excuse to curb our and me feel strongly to myself this one and me think if Prime Minister him really look low it's a criticism and level him against the media, especially now with this security treaty thing, is that him should look back inside law public relations machinery blame, because me, as far as me concerned, what now failure, it's not the media failing him. It's his own PR machine that's failing him. And what now should do makabluat properly. If what do makabluat properly, media by no need for pick him up slack, and it should not be expected of us. I mean, not paid by government for making government look good here. That one makabluat people were wakalo time is a PR machine or the media officers blame, communication officers blame. I mean, and me talk about me no meaning individually na me talk about it. Me talk about as a group and as a system, yeah. Or now must make them strong. And try to understand him too. How na Solomon Islanders him look at the leaders and try to count them, yeah. If Otta speak him same language with him Otta leaders, you know how Otta tell him stories about all the people, then of course by you got him backlash, yeah. You public relations man, you should sabe how to speak him or talk blow people lo grassroots. Make him Otta feel or what part of the government and not feel what agree with him and na government have doing, and even opposition too, you know, same thing. Otta must stop talk above him head blow people now. You talk about issue of people of province where no understanding man, no rotem no understanding, even some public servants and even educated Solomon Islanders. Sometimes what I listen what a debate here. And not one time. So what the point good is a debate here? You know,
So Dorothy, if you can bring us back to why this fella your comments have been made in case some of the viewers that are watching they're not really following what's been happening and what the Prime Minister said. If you can bring him come back to that one first.
Well, basically, I'm just criticizing the media for saying that the media work in partnership with several foreign governments that have implied that he got him ulterior motive. Yeah, so he personally, which hunting him na, so maybe pick him, yeah. But as we all know, whoever him sit on the post of Prime Minister, lot of kind issues or say, whether him Matthew Wale, if he was Prime Minister, we pick on him too. I'm not pick really on him personally, but the choices he's making, yeah. That one no him issue blame me. You need for look and for rise above him, na. It's all personal politics blow at yeah. Because I know for a fact, no problem parliament. But same time what come out for coffee breaks, they're standing and laughing with each other. But the picture would portray him, all public, him make him, all the people of public, got him this fella anti of each grouping, yeah, which is a little bit dangerous for society blaming. In this is what people blaming. The moment they start, you build up that attitude, yeah, but you say, about not a big problem happen outside Parliament, because that picture now has been drawn by themselves, and that's where their public relations machinery must counter that, and make our leaders look like they're representatives of their people, and that they speak on behalf of the electorate, but they're also national leaders, so they must representing Solomon Islanders as a whole, you know, not just government no more, na ruling power. Ini kalau democratic system ya, ini must garem. That's the term opposition. Why I call him opposition? Nah, is that because wakablo opposition na for questioning every move of government. I mean, what members of parliament, including the Prime Minister, should know this. He was elected through a democratic system. So we operate under that system. So of course, media have got a role blame in that system there. And you know, me one of me surprise them is that have taken personal for good now against him Imilo media. And I wonder whether this one heavy cultured mindset. Somebody in the background is telling him these things to make him think that the media is after him personally. I keep saying publicly that's not the point here. The point now is we can't question him no matter decision blame. And whether it's good for Solomon Islanders, maka blame Milo media na for questioning government. You sure this will a deal by him alright for him? And if I take him come policeman, what if something happened and Ota shooting waka Solomon Island road? How now the government deal with him? What the questions where media have need for ask him na what not details of the treaty yeah? Because him saya na last time round yeah. Time Ota shooting waka Solomon Island na money ba big issue to us yeah? Because what they seen as foreigners doing it. Even not own police blame me. Time what touching waka Solomon Island you look him reaction come back yeah. And if one talk system big low me, that's one Solomon Island. You touching full family blow money, go end up full village blame involved there.
Yeah.
And so it's the kind of issue that government have really done for changing narrative blame or talk blame how him addressing each other and address the public and using the media to channel that, yeah? Tell the human story. How will this thing affect the ordinary Solomon Islander? Make him feel that him part of this one process here. You know, I mean, if you may leave him out, then ini what kind of system are using? Democratic system or no? Question me ask me over the last few weeks, yeah? Like, are we using a democratic system or are we not? Yeah? If you may say me democratic country and you may say me friends to all and enemy to none, then that's very much a slogan of the media too, yeah? Yeah, we should not be enemy to anybody, yeah? Because we are supposed to be neutral. Yeah, so I mean, that's why Sogawara needs to realize this, and he's not only that, his cabinet and even opposition, because sometimes even the opposition still accuse us of being leaning one way, yeah? So Imi cannot win, but Imi have to stay in the middle, eh? So I mean, Gina, you think we need to talk to us.
Well, thank you so much for your thoughts on that. And Ofani, you being an editor of a newspaper, if you listen to Parliament session recently, yeah, even though some of the members of Parliament, they're saying that they do not even buy the papers anymore because of so many misinformation and papers are leaning towards one side. Only the opposition, let's say opposition no more, you may cover them all time. But as someone who looks after a newspaper, newsroom, being an editor, do you feel that you unfair or biased in how you cover more the issues? Or do you keep track of what you also come out of the paper and what your journalists are looking out for when they cover the news?
Yeah, Gina, lo mifala lo as one of the main papers, yeah. We tried as much as possible to, balancing of the stories where mifala publishing. Yeah? Unfortunately, sometimes have no happen. Yeah, sometimes mifala come up with them stories where we are publishing probably one side of it no more. Like if the opposition have me come up with them a statement. Time you give him go for government have me comment come to him. Normally that one have not happen immediately. It can take a day or two before a response him come. But here is a statement where the opposition like for him get him out. So we normally do. We just go along with that and publish it, and then when a response him come from the government, then we follow publishing too. Yeah, I think this whole balancing thing can be tricky at times, but we are in the business of sharing information, factual and true information, that is, and as media people, as journalists, Mivalo Island Sun, we have been always try to be fair to both sides of the spectrum, and sometimes we fail, sometimes we maybe under so much pressure and overlooking things, but in the whole, I think we have been fair to both sides, eh? And we always give comments, space for members of the public for also, sharing views to what's been happening around us, especially with this whole debate around the security treaty where government signing with China. Yeah? So coming back to this fella accusations that in media by we in the media have been biased at times. I think Dorothy had mentioning something about the government media mustn't doing they have to do their bit. I believe there is room for improve. As we say earlier, we fail at times. You may normally don't live up to the expectation where readers and members of the public what expect them lo me. But in the whole, I think the government has a good the media machine where Office of the Prime Minister establishing within Lodea Hemi, they have more than enough people to do, control information or respond to accusations where members of the public or those of us in the media raising with them out there. So yeah, there's room for improvement, and I would like them to, to collaborate more with the Mimilo media, so that what you may give him out, what you may share him, what you may publish him, have me balance. Yeah? If they are not doing their job and we publish something and then afterwards they come out and say, hey, if I'll publish him article or comment where him no fair, then who not by me blame me? Me follow media or you follow where you are supposed to be responding to other questions and queries where media make them go. Yeah. So I think there's we need to collaborate more. Them, those within the government media machinery need to really come up and more responsive law questions, please.
Well, thank you so much, Ofani, and you're watching Media Watch. You must also say a big thank you to Heritage Park Hotel for when you were provided for you may sit down here a little bit outdoor setting you may this for time you may survey you may time COVID, so you may also have to comply with the measures we have in place too. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back. Suppose you just sit down with him. Me fala this one hemi Media Watch hemi one fala initiative, Blue Media Association of Solomon Islands, MASI hemi one fala charitable organization where hemi established purposely for make sure no more professionalism, Blue Media, and of course Sokotalo newsrooms hemi staff, and hemi lo here too for supporting media workers and those who are inside of this fala profession Blue media news coverage hemi also addressed. And we're happy to have Ofani Eremae, who is the editor of the Island Sun newspaper, as well as Dorothy Wickham, one for the board member of the MASI, and senior journalist for the media industry, here with us for this first session of Media Watch for 2022. And earlier we've been talking about the issues we've been covered, especially inside the media. We've seen the security pact, where has been signed between China and the government of Solomon Islands, and we also talk a little bit about in that one and Wakablo media this one, and we've also talked a bit about the PR machinery of government. Dorothy, the PR machinery of government, what do we mean, especially when we say the PR machinery of government, more specifically Office of the Prime Minister and Cabinet?
Usually law, any democratic system by you got public relations or media officer, whatever title what they give you, press secretary, and Wakablo people is for make sure that policies of government, people survey about him, what Prime Minister have do him, have say where him go, yeah, and then at the same time Wakablo that too for control him na conversation niya, o simple. So if mati wala him talang about something, press officer of Prime Minister him should take note of him and try to discuss him inside the office below now. That maybe it's good for the Prime Minister to reply to this, and if they think it's important he should reply to it, then advise him PM for say, oh, you know, mati wala him to him, I think we should say something, and so either he may issue statement or one thing we notice him this time too is that unlike what at times blow the people or same Damot press secretary Susan Johnson Honimai Robert Iroga is that you as a press secretary too sometimes has to be the messenger. Yeah, it doesn't have to always come from the PM. Like maybe him this government position no more. That you come out and say, oh, position lo government hem osim ya. They speak on behalf of the government ya. So time what the media what the ringo and to inquire about him something else. Same time opposition hem issue statement. Government PR machine hem should already prepare for count-up na for say, oi, kata to ko say mimi mas ready. No ko newspaper ringkam o SIBC ringkam o kata freelancers o say for example say Michelema. Then Rimi ready na what na by imi talam so imi ko advise PM that man to ko say maybe PM him set meeting cabinet full do him no aware lot of things that was said but kata na waka blood for preparing him or say oh this is what the Australian media is saying every morning also brief him or say oh this one na 10 for trend this time people are talking too much about this subject how imi little bit try for explaining why na government make a decision I mean waka blow public relation machine blow not only blow government even if a company company have got a media departments blame too where waka blow na that one you see that him no block blame which is you protect him but you must also same time you must proactive no reactive so you must put him out their position blame first time instead of you defend all the way and that one waka blow katalo machinery and we must tell him that during time Lord Johnson and Robert you looking flow between information flow between media and PMO him facilitated by Tufala Tufala on top of the game and Tufala sila tu sometimes ring come and say hey say something on say how Mifala was and then they discuss it and it's a relationship between them and us. It's not a fight. It's not a battle. You know. And this is where mindset block at PR officers said, "Oh, must remember that you sitting there. That's the office of the people of Solomon Islands. Is that system where we run in democratic society. You are not there looking after a personal asset here. Yeah, you are looking after an asset that belongs to everybody, and everybody has the right to know what you're doing. Yeah, and don't get personal with him. No need for you to think that oh, mifa barang less na lord mano simya. Kasi ano mifa na nagtoklem. Hem no wako simya. Yeah, imi everyone imi part lo of a big picture. And media have part of this picture. Then you got the executive arm of government. Yeah, and then you got the legislature. Yeah, trivial arm lo democratic system where imi sa lulukul have always imi sa say that okata na mas balance imi chala. Yeah. So if okata waka inside lo prime minister office try for pull back a little bit. No personalize him too much. Rise above him what issue and talk issue. No, enough for criticizing media all the way because sometimes by several people say, what name be said today? That's your job. Your job is to make sure that the people like the Prime Minister. That's your job. That's the only thing you paid to do. Nothing else. Yeah? You're not there to drive him. You're not there to answer his phone calls. You are there to make him look good. Him now Govt PR machine. And in any organization, not only the politics, So, I understand him. Why not this fella? Suddenly, no ma imikaram this fella relationship where him no waka anymore, na? And I feel that sometimes him na say him failure blow PR machine government, because before he never got him that one. We were always free to approach the Prime Minister because the Prime Minister didn't feel that we were after him personally. So I'm wondering who's telling him these things. That Otlo media no maybe no man no like MPM. That's not true. It's not our decision to like him or not. That's not our right. Yeah, and this is what Imi must understand. Imi lo media no got him right for like or dislike him, Prime Minister. Him elected member of Parliament, the people blame him. Yeah, because all trust him. That's why I know the vote him. That's why I sit down there. And then time of the form of government, this is a group where make him sit down on MPM or that too. Trust him, choose him for lead. That is not has nothing to do with us, you know. What interest no him is time him sit down there, him and full cabinet blame. Other must explain him to people every single decision not make him. Because people na vote him order, put him out inside lo there. And immediately waka blame him for remind him out lo that one. Because hey, don't forget, whatever you do, he must get him good. He may run if Solomon Island. He may run like him put something for country blame. He may run complain about him development issues blame. He may lo media na always focus on things. Hospitals blame no good, road no good. Now if, for example, if China him come in and him do him something where Solomon Islanders lo side road or lo market or lo village been complained about, then so be it. You know, that's not our decision to make. You like causing change, then you go run for parliament. It's simple, yeah. We can't have it any other way. You like for make decision, no that level, then you take him out hard you wear next election you will run now. Make him you got him power for you make him change here. But for him sit down outside and he say, oh me follow like him something awesome and think that me follow media got him right for talk him no mind. You know him not pointy. Me follow nothing. No dislike him anybody. What we're trying to say is lead and you lead good. Yeah. Make sure foremost lumayan you him well-being of Solomon and country. Him no man simple. Waka blame lo media na eh. Even though got him right for say oh so what him rubbish leader. Who must say? What people blame na vote him. They believe he's a good leader. That's why they put him in parliament. Yeah. And due respect to some a lot of people who are criticizing what the former prime ministers blame me and what this was but boy what the former prime ministers blame me.
Yeah.
People at one time respected them, trusted them and put them in that post. And as former prime ministers, they have every right to comment on issues. They've sat at that level. They understand the pressures behind, they understand the bilateral, multilateral relationships. So, if we got a lot of senior people out there, what the need for comment lot issues here. And if sometimes if young, if think if saw everything, but sometimes wisdom can come with him experience too, yeah. So if whole lot of people comment, yeah. And if not take him wrong that Ota against him anybody, it's just that Ota too bad question him, ay, how no, gamane o same time. Last time when we did this was the effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they related to their experience. So and that's why you have people like Danny Philip there, you got Sikwa there, even Rick Ho is a former PM, and even people all statesmen or same Billy Healy, they're around. And you know if you want them to comment on issues, I mean those are the people to go to. They know more better than any of us what it means to lead a country. Or than I experience him, everyone experience him, yeah. The responsibility that you hold as a prime minister, yeah. So I mean, I'm not out of several issues when me like raise him and make him point to him, yeah. So I'm not saying me attack him any individual. What I'm saying is this system of public relation machine law PMO and law government overall needs to be reviewed and needs to be relooked. And if I was, you know, the leaders inside the PMO, you need to look at this properly, really analyze it, because in the end, Okatana should protect him. That's not our job in the media to protect you. Those are the people you pay them to protect you, and that's what they should be doing every single day. Every morning they should have a briefing paper, yeah, for the people to say, oh, this is what the people are saying in the media, this is what the overseas media is saying, this is what social media is saying. What do you think? Should we answer? It seems to be a certain subject that keeps raising, yeah. So maybe we should get a statement to him. And that's their role. They should be advising the PM or at least informing him of what are the trending issues, yeah. And this one, but you find him everywhere. Sometimes by him less, yeah. But it's your job to convince him to say, no, look, this one is important, yeah. We must answer for keeping people aside blaming as we walk through this tough, you know, journey. And China security treaty, yeah. Him of a tough subject, yeah.
It is.
Any government, whether him so very sit there or not so very, by him same no more,
yeah.
Backlash, yeah. And him driven by language too, yeah. You mean it? In danger of cultivating a racist culture now.
Yeah.
Because
it's showing, especially when you see the comments when come out on social media and
really
whatever
bad,
people are saying.
Yeah.
And of course we're stepping on each other's toes too, like the roles in playment.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be everywhere. So you just focus on what you're doing. Like if you just focus on your job. But now it's like everyone's an expert in everywhere and wanting to do,
let me say,
even for media, but some people, you know, think that, oh, something awesome now, journalist awesome. But of course we have, you know, different professions, different makeup altogether.
And different strengths and weaknesses too,
So not everyone can be a politician too. And for Ofani, I'm coming back to you because you edit Tablo Newsroom, especially you're looking after what goes out in the information that people receive him on the other end, and the relationship we look him, especially where you follow with the PR machinery when we talk about. We understand that we must acknowledge the press conferences we're going to hold him for you, me, and give him opportunity for Emilio Media for ask questions. But for you look him that one enough, or what's your feedback on that?
Okay, thank you, Gina. I think, first of all, I think Dorothy have covered well what a PR person is supposed to do. It's a very important role, and somebody where you've been recruited for doing that one. You have to step up, yeah? You have to step up. We are operating today in a very, very challenging environment because of the existence of social media. Information coming from there, coming from all corners of the country, everyone going out on social media and say their bit, So Hemi very challenging, yeah, very challenging to weave your way through the amount of information that is available there, and identify and separate what is fact and what is not. Yeah. Now, Lo Island Sun, very challenging for me, especially when you have only one or two reporters working in a day, and me try to, put together all the information that's coming before us and say, what now? What's news here? Yeah, and very challenging, very difficult, and with COVID, with social media, all this, yeah, and we make the job difficult and challenging. But I think it's time for us, media, to rise up and do what we are supposed to do. Yeah, relaying and sharing information that can be factual, and that by help them people blame me for making informed decisions. Yeah, him or Sam. Now, you mentioned something about, is the government, organizing a press conference enough? Press conference it's a good place, a good opportunity for governments for sharing what explaining what decisions blame. And I think police media has been doing a better job on that front. Yeah, they've been holding consistent press conferences weekly, where him giving me opportunity for ask about kind of investigations that they are doing, or the cases we are dealing with them, what they are doing. So that's good. Government have come up with that recently, or the start for organizing press conferences, which is good. And I think all I can say on that is they have to be consistent, yeah? So that the media in particular have got an opportunity to ask them to explain the policies, decisions that ought come up with them, for informing people blame me. It is when people are uninformed that ought make a noise too much, yeah? And we have seen that quite a lot of that in social media, yeah? Because they want to know this, but they don't get the right answers from the right people. So I would encourage the PMO media machinery to continue for organizing the weekly press conferences where come up with them recently and maintain it. And at the same time, I think they should be, you know, more open to questions from or queries from not only local media, but overseas media. They're the ones who have been, you know, raising up issues over this whole China thing, come up with different narratives and all that. So I think the government media machinery, government media PR officers, they need to, you know, really step up and, as Dorothy mentioned earlier, defend the Prime Minister, defend our government, so that what the decisions here, let me explain to them too, the China thing, generate them a lot of interest, both here at home and overseas, and that is expected because of the way it's been negotiated and a little bit of secrecy around it, so role blow government through its PR machine to, you know, make things clear. A lot of people blame me. I think they've done something about it already in terms of awareness, in terms of press releases that issue. But I think there's more that needs to be done. I must say.
Thank you, Ofani. And Dorothy, I think we've come to the end of our Media Watch for this week. Any final comments or thoughts from you, and then we go to Ofani, and then we wrap up.
I think imi also talebile imi orang Solomon Islands. And foremost imi mas focus na lo. So what na good law is for China security treaty for country living. So imi try for imi rise above na o ta petty, killing each other, talk spoiling each other, or kind of things. So imi rise above it. Imi no let them what a debate will go into Australia and America affect him. This one focus where imi masgarem, which is here. Let's not worry about Australia. Let the Australian media worry about themselves. Imi worry about him. What na go here? And what we see with our eyes, what we hear from government, what we hear from opposition, and let's balance this conversation. I think Imilo media must be strong and try and keep the balance. It's very difficult to keep the balance, but have part law, training that you should current time you like become a journalist. Nice to keep the balance and for focus lo issue, no focus lo personality. I think if every lo media and even of the public relations machine of government take a visual attitude, but it became inform about Solomon Islands, and I was happy that me had for survey what you Gina doing unless you story me. That's the whole point. So if over there no story no then people no say what the government doing. So as far as they're concerned, they think that the Prime Minister is just sitting in the office all day long and then he's escorted home because that's what they see. But if you not tell a story, no day blow him. What are you doing today? At the end of the day, there should be a statement from the Prime's office saying, "Oh, today, PM met with these people, and this was the basis of the discussion." There were civil society groups who came and raised this issue, and this is what the PM said. Every single day, communication must come. Communication must come. And only one thing, that if I want to pay more money very high for doing more jobs then make them earn their money, make them work. And it's and it's their job to facilitate the media. No for fight with him, everyone. Try to forget them the same thing. No matter done, which is inform the people right now. If you start for like raraw with him, then go against him everything where he run stand for he communicate us let's do the job properly.
Thank you so much, Dorothy. And for you, Ofani?
Yes, Gina. I think in the last couple of weeks and go past here, there is so much negativity. There is so much hostility so much hatred, particularly on social media, and these were, born out of this fella security treaty where government had me signing with him China. Me like say also, the deal has been signed, yeah. Government have decided to sign the deal, and Prime Minister had me come out and explain him that the security deal by him no involve him any military or naval base here. So the information is there. We all know that, and the deal has been signed. Yeah? I think it's time for the country needs to move on, and look at what himself get him out of the deal, yeah, for the benefit of our people, for the benefit of our nation. Yeah. We believe fear from me if we continue for argue, if we continue for hating each other over this one, we will not be moving anywhere. We will not be moving anywhere by him affecting the development that he may like for achieving from this fella security deal and this fella new relationship where government had me established with him China. I think China is a potential development partner. In fact, they are already our diplomatic partners now. We can argue over it until the cows come home, but what do we get over all this? Yeah? I think we just need to manage the relationship, see what we can get out of it for our good, and then we move on. Yeah? We need to get out of all this hatred and negativities. Yeah.
Dorothy talent as what many people say with him, make sure vote to play you next election him count.
Yes.
You must vote if you not happy the one in the same thing this for that time. Make sure time you go to election, upcoming election, make sure vote play you him count, make him everyone also satisfied that whoever you put him inside and leave him good and one people like it, especially when it comes to our development.
Just one final thing from me, Gina. I think now that the security deal had me there, it's there. I think it's time for the government's PR machine to start conducting awareness into it. Yeah? Take it to our people. Yeah, they need to know what's in there, what's in for our country, what's in for China. Me believe if people really me are fully aware of the details in there, there may be something that has to be protected or kept secret because of security. But I think there's need to be a lot of more awareness into it, so that people are aware of what's in there. People are aware of the benefits that we can get out of it, and you may move on. Yeah, man. Yeah.
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 Time for move on na subject him. Ini overkill na
Yeah.
Kasi point ko ini wake up ini him also watching the Ukraine war.
Yeah.
Every day on TV him you watching every single day. Kasi point where people like no anything surprising anymore na. Expecting for Putin for just carry on no ma.
Yeah.
So then this time with him security deal of China, but you start for not seeing, so Manila start for slowly we switch off now. They're fed up now.
Yeah.
It's like the subject
We
is
want to
starting
know what's
die.
in the deal now.
Yeah, this time just giving me what detail no ma. I mean, asking for the whole detail of a security deal is like saying to a burglar, house blooming there, but you say if you come. That's
Let's
how we
wake
don't
up
know.
still.
Say no, but there. So if you like come inside, you come in there. I mean, have common sense. You cannot solve every detail,
Yeah.
but at least generalize him come making me feel say,
What?
yeah, what now inside lab? We're not expecting the total nuts and bolts blame. It's a security block country, and
Yeah.
as Mr. Lem finish, ini worry country blame is of course we don't want to people to know what our loopholes and our weaknesses are either.
Yeah.
So that's not our place to go into that too much. Yeah, leave him makablo police, blo gaman, utanaw, sabi. But explain him kam lumaw. How na ba affected me fala? Lumay me like him. Simple. I think lumay Gina.
Well, thank you so much, Dorothy and Ofani, for coming on to Media Watch Law this fella week. We hope that whatever you may discuss him this fella time, but I'm also help him too, but the audience and viewers play me for understanding where na media ham come in this fella waka, what na role me fella play, especially when it comes to highlighting or covering issues of national interest, such as the security deal between China and government blame in the country. We have not only no interest playing in the Solomon Islands, but of course our international friends as well. So until the next time, we bami fala kamo with him another Media Watch session. I would like to say thank you very much to the management of Heritage Park Hotel for allowing this fala venue for him to come sit down lehem. And of course, thank him to editor of Island Sun newspaper, Ofani Eremae, as well as senior journalist Yumi Dorothy Wickham, who is also a board member of MASI, for stop sit down with him in this fala discussion. Gina Kekea, thank you so much for staying with us on Media Watch, and of course, thank you to Telekom Television as well.